Today on Inquirer, remains of 4 passengers of fallen Cessna plane found near Mayon crater. Search for missing Cessna plane in Isabela resumes after 3-day halt. 30 Chinese militia vessels spotted in Ayungin and Sabina Shoal. Philippine Coast Guard says this shows China's disregard of Philippines' exclusive economic zone. And House panel approves in principle 8 bills on divorce. Today on Inquirer. Good evening. For our top story, the Philippine Coast Guard says the presence of Chinese militia vessels in the West Philippine Sea shows that China continues to ignore the Philippines' legal ownership of its exclusive economic zone. Philippine Coast Guard Commodore J. Tariela made the remark when asked about the meaning of China's continued presence in the Philippine waters. This comes after the agency spotted 30 suspected Chinese militia vessels in the West Philippine Sea, particularly in Sabina Shoal and Ayungin Shoal. Tariela says the Philippine government is intensifying its presence in the West Philippine Sea in response to China's recent activities there. Meanwhile, during a maritime air patrol on Tuesday, Philippine Coast Guard aircraft passengers received a text roaming alert saying, quote, "Welcome to China." The passengers aboard the Philippine Coast Guard Cessna caravan received this message as the aircraft approached Ayungin Shoal located within the Philippines' exclusive economic zone. China claims nearly the entire South China Sea, including the West Philippine Sea. In 2016, a ruling by an international arbitral tribunal in The Hague invalidated China's sweeping claims and upheld the Philippines' rights over its exclusive economic zone. Albay disaster officials confirmed that the remains of the 4 people on board the Cessna plane which crashed near Mayon volcano were already found. To tell us more, here's Faith Argosino reporting live. Faith, what is the status of the retrieval operations right now?
Well, Neil, according to Camalid Mayor Carlos Irwin Baldo Jr.'s latest update, the teams are currently retrieving the bodies in the area. With Albay Provincial Safety and Emergency Management Office Chief Dr. Cedric Daip says they are also considering the weather conditions, Mayon situation, and the pacing of respondents in retrieving the bodies. Baldo confirmed on Wednesday night that the bodies of the 4 people on board the Cessna plane, which crashed in Mayon volcano, were found by the search and rescue teams deployed to climb the crash site. The team, composed of local mountaineers, government rescuers, and other guides, started climbing on Tuesday to reach the crash site, about 6,000 feet from the volcano's base. The Cessna RPC-340 went missing on Saturday morning with the pilot Captain Rufino James Crisostomo Jr., his mechanic Joel Martin, and their 2 Australian passengers, Simon Chipperfield and Carthy Santhanam. The debris of the Cessna RPC-340 was located some 350 meters from the volcano's summit crater on Sunday afternoon. That's it for me, Neil. Back to you.
That's Faith Argosino reporting live. The Provincial Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Office of Isabela says the search operations for the missing Cessna plane in Isabela resumes on Thursday. According to Isabela PDRRMO Commander Attorney Constante Foronda Jr., the search operations will now continue after a 3-day suspension due to inclement weather. To fast-track the operations, Foronda also said 4 more tracker dogs and 8 handlers would be deployed to Maconacon town. Local authorities in Isabela reported that the 6-seater Cessna 206 plane went missing an hour after leaving the Kawayan Domestic Airport in Isabela on January 24. The aircraft was bound for the coastal town of Maconacon when it went missing. Next on Inquirer today. After China laser incident, Department of Defense says the United States assures Philippines of its ironclad commitment on alliance. House panel approves in principle 8 bills on divorce. And MTRCB says plane distributor voluntarily pulled out film from Philippine theaters. This is Inquirer Today. We'll be back shortly.
Akala ko katapusan ko na eh. Sisigawan kami, nag-iiyakan yung mga bata. Yung lupa, ramdam mo na nag-vibrate. Patulog na kami ng asawa ko. Nakaramdam kami ng pagyanig na tuloy-tuloy. Tumayo yung asawa ko at ako din sumunod na rin sa kanya. Nung paglabas namin ng pinto, tumigil yung lindol. Ayun pala, pabagsak na yung building namin at napahiga po kami ng asawa ko sa semento. Sumigaw na ako ng malakas kasi akala ko madadaganan na ako eh. Akala ko mamamatay na ako eh. Nagpanic na ako dun eh. Kasi nasa 3rd floor po kami eh. Yung asawa ko dumiretso sa 4th floor para nandun yung nanay at tatay niya na nakatira. Ako naman, pababa na ng hagdan. Sisigaw na ako. Nung paglabas na ng bahay, kita ko yung 1st floor, hati na yung bumaba na yung pader.
Deprem meydana geldi şu anda. Şu anda deprem meydana geldi. Kayıtta mısın? Deprem meydana geldi.
Tapos yung the rest, nung tumigil na, yung aftershock niya, malakas pa rin. Yung mga puno, shake talaga. Pati yung mga bubong na rinig mo talaga na umubong. Tapos yung lupa, ramdam mo na nag-vibrate. Parang naisip ko mamamatay na ako. Akala ko katapusan ko na eh.
Aftershock. Mga kasamahan namin nandun. Dilim.
Kami ng asawa ko, nag-stay po kami sa sasakyan. Pero yung iba, may nag-stay sila sa maliit na tent. 2 nights po kami nag-stay doon. Kasi hindi na namin kaya, sir, yung lamig eh. Walang tulong na dumating. May dala kami ng blanket. Hindi pa rin po sapat. Tsaka tubig. Malinis na tubig na inumin. Tapos heater, sir, at emergency light. Nag-ask sila ng tulong from the government, yung kamag-anak ng asawa ko. Kaso sabi nila after 1 week. Eh di naman pwede yun, sir, kasi may mga bata magkakasakit yun, may mga matatanda. Asawa ko nga may sakit eh, nauubo. Tapos yung gasolina ng sasakyan namin mauubos na. Paluwas kami ng na Antakya, kita namin yung damage talaga. At traffic. Kasi lahat gusto nang lumabas eh. Kasi sa downtown namin, maraming building, maraming apartment. Yung mga building wala na po. As in, bagsak na. Wala ka ng kahit market, wala ka ng makita. May trauma na po, sir. Pag dito, pintuan pa lang, pag sara mong ganun akala mo maglilindol ulit. Parang trauma, parang hindi na maalis sa isipan, sir. Yung takot ba? Hindi nga ako kami makakain eh. Kasi yung nangyari, nandito pa rin. Hindi maalis. Mayaman ka man, mahirap, o ano, gaano kakaingat, maraming pera o ano, yung sakuna, darating at darating talaga sa buhay mo. Na, yun nga, pray lang ang ano, ang makakatulong sa atin. Panawagan ko lang yung tulong sir na kailangan ng mga Pilipino ng lalo na dito sa Antakya, kailangan nila ng tulong na para sa yun nga, lalo na yung mga naulila dito na yung mga anak na nadamay. Yung tulong lang sir, tulong.
The United States assures the Philippines of its ironclad commitment to both countries' alliance after the Chinese Coast Guard's harassment of the Philippines vessel using a military-grade laser. The Department of National Defense says U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin III made the pronouncement during a Wednesday phone call meeting with Defense Secretary Carlito Galvez Jr. In a statement on Thursday, the DND says Secretary Austin reiterates the U.S.'s commitment to the alliance remains ironclad. According to the DND, Austin even stressed that an armed attack on Philippine armed forces, aircraft, and public vessels anywhere in the South China Sea would trigger the Mutual Defense Treaty between the U.S. and the Philippines. The DND says Galvez thanked Austin for the expression of support. The bilateral meeting comes after the February 6 incident when a Chinese Coast Guard illuminated a green light twice towards a Philippine Coast Guard vessel in Ayungin Shoal in the West Philippine Sea. A committee in the House of Representatives approves in principle 8 bills on divorce which are subject for consolidation. During the Committee on Population and Family Relations hearing on Thursday, Albay 1st District Representative Ed Salagman moved to approve 8 bills on divorce. The motion was seconded by other representatives present in the hearing. Lagman will lead a technical working group that will consolidate the divorce bills into a substitute bill. In a speech, Lagman tells the committee that the Philippines remains the only country that has not yet legalized absolute divorce. He says divorce would benefit couples in, quote, inordinately toxic and irreparably dysfunctional marriages. The lawmaker cites studies from progressive countries that show how children from divorced parents are more resilient, more loving, and independent. The Movie and Television Review and Classification Board reveals the distributor of the movie Plane has voluntarily pulled out the film from the Philippines. MTRCB Chairperson Jorela Maria Soto Antonio shares this during the Senate Committee on Public Information and Mass Media hearing. To recall, Senator Robin Padilla sought for the MTRCB's ban on the film Plane, claiming that it brings the Philippines in a bad light. Padilla chairs the Senate Committee on Public Information and Mass Media. Soto Antonio says while in the process of re-examining the film, the distributor of the film voluntarily pulled out the movie. The MTRCB chairperson stresses they are taking concerns of the public, especially legislators, seriously. While Plane was filmed in Puerto Rico, the movie was set in Holosulu. In the movie, a band of militiamen attacked airplane passengers after an emergency landing in the area. Alamin naman natin ang mainit na balita sa mundo ng showbiz kasama si Pauline Del Rosario ng Bandera. Pauline?
Hello Neil at sa mga kabandera natin all over the universe. Heto ang latest chika. Nagparamdam na at may bagong social media update ang aktres na si Liza Soberano. 'Yung aktres na si Liza Soberano ay nagparamdam na at may bagong social media update ang aktres na si Liza Soberano. 'Yung aktres na si Liza Soberano ay nagparamdam na at may bagong social media update ang aktres na si Liza Soberano. 'Yung aktres na si Liza Soberano ay nagparamdam na at may bagong social media update ang aktres na si Liza Soberano. 'Yung aktres na si Liza Soberano ay nagparamdam na at may bagong social media update ang aktres na si Liza Soberano. 'Yung aktres na si Liza Soberano ay nagparamdam na at may bagong social media update ang aktres na si Liza Soberano. 'Yung aktres na si Liza Soberano ay nagparamdam na at may bagong social media update ang aktres na si Liza Soberano. 'Yung aktres na si Liza Soberano ay nagparamdam na at may bagong social media update ang aktres na si Liza Soberano. 'Yung aktres na si Liza Soberano ay nagparamdam na at may bagong social media update ang aktres na si Yan ay ilang araw matapos mabura ang lahat ng kanyang mga posts sa Instagram at YouTube. Sa bagong IG post, mukhang may pa-teaser ang aktres para sa kanyang upcoming project. May caption pa ito ng tila lyrics ng kanta na may pamagat na Flower Dream. Ipinost niya rin ito sa kanyang IG stories, kalakip ng mensahe na magkakaroon siya ng live update sa kanyang YouTube channel. Kung maaalala nitong February 21, naging usap-usapan sa social media si Liza matapos mapaghinalaang na-hack umano ang kanyang verified accounts. Pero dahil sa naging update ng aktres, kaabang-abang naman ngayon ang magiging pasabog niya para sa fans. Wala namang nabanggit ang dalaga tungkol sa boyfriend niyang si Enrique Hill, kaya may mga Lizken fans na humihiling na magbigay din siya ng update about them. Matatanda ang inamin ni Liza na maninirahan na muna siya sa Los Angeles, California para i-pursue ang kanyang Hollywood dream na maging isang world-class actress. At yan ang latest bandera chika natin for today. Thank you, Neil!
Salamat, Pauline. And these are the stories you need to know today. I'm Neil Mercado. Catch Inquirer today live weekdays at 6 p.m. Follow INQUIRER.net on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Reddit. For more stories, visit INQUIRER.net. Good evening.